Hello again everyone, welcome back to the channel, Comic Kid here, and today we will be discussing the Mafex BVS Batman versus the Mezco 112 Batman. For those of you who have seen my review of the Mezco Sovereign Knight Batman, I'm not going to review it as much in this. I'll definitely do like a recap, but for the most part I will be re-explaining the basics of the Mezco one, and then going into a little bit more detail on the Mafex one. Now, for starters, these are both around the same price point of $80, give or take. I was able to find the Mafex Batman for substantially less, just because he is a little bit older. But one of the more immediate things you might notice is the Mezco one comes with substantially more accessories. He comes with alternate heads, he comes with a bat drone, he comes with an abundance of batarangs, 2 guns, and a bunch of variety of hands. Whereas the Mafex one, he still comes with 2 guns, he comes with a smoke grenade and 1 batarang, but he does also come with his fair share of hands. No alternate head. That being said, with Ben Affleck's Batman, you don't really need an alternate head or anything. Like, you can just kind of go with it. So the Mafex one comes with everything he needs as far as being a movie figure. Now, the key distinction between them is also going to be the fact that the Mezco one is actually wearing some clothes, whereas the Mafex one does have his joints exposed, as you can see there. Both of them are very poseable. Both of them do come with a cloth cape. One thing I will say that Mezco has the advantage on is they have a wire on the edges of the cape there, so you can bend it up like so if you wish, or leave it down. Now, the Mezco one comes with wiring for the cape, but it's a very weird setup. I get what they were going for, but I will give Mafex the advantage on the cape there. Now, posability is really gonna be where everything boils down to. Both of them are known for being very posable figures. As you can guess, some Mezco figures will definitely be a little more limited based on what clothing accessories they wear. So some will definitely be more posable than others, but just about every Mafex is guaranteed to have the same amount of posability as the next Mafex. So we'll start with the Mezco one, just to give you guys a quick recap. He can't really look up so well, but he can definitely look down pretty nicely, which is, like I said, better for Batman. He has double jointed elbows there. He has a ball joint wrist with some pretty good range of motion. He does have an ab crunch, but a pretty limited one. He does have limited butterfly shoulders. You may not even be able to see that, but kind of. His legs can go up all the way, and it is nice that the belt rises up there. That definitely helps with some range of motion. He has double jointed knees. I wish the kneecap would slide down a little better. And he does have ball joint feet, which leaves for some limited range of motion there. It could have been better, it could have been worse. But that is essentially everything for the Mezco as far as range of motion. Now, to take a look at the Mafex one, he can look up quite substantially. That's almost a perfect 90-degree angle, and he can look down just as easily. That reminds me a lot of the first image of Ben's Batman where he's by the Batmobile, and yeah. So as far as range of motion there, he definitely has it in the neck. So Mafex has the advantage of putting two joints in their abs, one there and one there, and that really allows for a nice like hunched over crunch, as you can see. So that is an advantage. His shoulders, they do butterfly, but they're still pretty limited, so there's really no advantage there. It's just a little more noticeable because of the exposed joints. But he does have double jointed elbows and a ball wrist again. There you go. As far as the legs go, one thing Mafex does is they like detach from the hip almost. You can like pull the leg down like so and then push it back up. And that's really nifty because that allows for some really like complicated poses. It allows for a much better range of motion, helps you pull that leg up a little more. You can't actually pull the leg up too far in Batman's case, but depending on how else you pose him, that may not matter. He has double jointed knees and a significantly more noticeable ball ankle there. Much better range than the Mezco one. And then he does have posable toes. That's never mattered to me much. It's never made a huge difference, but I know some people like it, some people don't, some people it makes the difference, also some people it doesn't. So that's them. So in case it isn't obvious, the Mafex one is substantially more posable, but that doesn't mean the Mezco one doesn't have anything to offer as far as posability. As you guys can see, they're scaled pretty evenly, so if you have other figures of each, like they'll look pretty good side by side. The Mezco one is a bit taller, and it would be substantially taller if you threw on like the base head here with the longer ears, but that doesn't really make a huge difference in the long run. As far as which one wins, I definitely think it boils down to what you like. If you want accessories in a little more comic book style, I would definitely say stick with the Mezco. It is a great figure, don't get me wrong. Just because it's a little limited in posability doesn't mean it's like a statue. Plus, Batman doesn't always need to be doing all these super complex like poses. He is a very like brute force, bulky type character, so he doesn't need to be like cleaning the walls like Spider-Man or doing all these insane like poses like Gambit or anything of the sorts like that. But if you do want to try and get some of those poses, the Mafex would definitely be the way to go. He is easily the more posable of the two, and especially if you like the movie versions, this would be your figure. Ben's suit is my favorite cinematic suit, at least at the moment, and for the amount of accessories that he does come with, I think it's very fitting and appropriate for the figure. He doesn't come like with too many unnecessary accessories. Alrighty, and that's everything we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to share this video or click like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again next week.